Hi, it's Paul, and today in this video I am an old man with my metal parts bender, and I'm addressing two other questions that kind of link together, sort of, that have been asked a few times on the original assembly and use video. And those questions are: can it bend a large diameter ring in whatever material, flat or round? Because it will bend round. Whilst in the pipe bending video I explained it won't bend pipe, it will bend bar and round. So can it bend a larger diameter ring? And the other is, can it do scroll work? Can it bend a scroll? And the answer to the both is no. So again, if that satisfies your curiosity, then thanks for watching. See you in the next one. There is a sort of, well, not really, but kinda in both scenarios, depending on exactly what you want to do. So let's talk about scroll bending first. I'm not going to attempt to bend a scroll. You'll see what needs to be done and hopefully you'll understand it. But it very much depends on what you're trying to achieve. So if you're trying to make what we used to make traditionally as kids was hanging basket brackets. So that is a very badly drawn hanging basket bracket, but you bolt that to your wall and your hanging basket goes in there, and you put all your pretty flowers in. Flowers are not within my remit. So could you make one of them on this? Yes, absolutely, because it only has a single radius bend in each location. You've got a bend, a bend, a bend, a bend and a fold, and then in the middle of here you're twisting your flat metal. If you want to go any further than that, so you want to come down and you want to go a big bend and decreasingly smaller, no, it will not do that. It will do the size of the former that you've got, I suppose, and in fairness, I'm probably not going to experiment. Fill your boots. If I bent round to there with a 3-inch and then changed to maybe a 2.5 and a 2 and a, maybe I could bodge it into submission and come up with something, but it's going to be hard work. So yes, no. And that's it for scroll bending. What you can get on, certainly on eBay, also maybe on Amazon, I don't know, I'll have a look, and if I can find one I'll put a link below, which will turn this into an advert because I'm an Amazon affiliate. Yawn. What you can get for these machines is a scroll bending attachment. I don't have one. I have no need for one. I gave up making those probably 40 years ago. I'm not into my raw iron work. I don't use this for that. I just use this for making brackets and stuff. So you can get an attachment. I don't have one. I will find a link to a video that shows you the scroll bending attachment and hopefully how to use it, and I'll stick it somewhere. I don't know, you'll see it come up on the screen. So that's scroll bending. And the other question, as I say, was, can you bend a bigger dimension, a bigger diameter ring? And again, The answer's no, but you might, depending on what you do, you might be able to get a one-off approximation of what you're trying to achieve. Would you be able to do it on a repeat basis? Almost certainly not, not with any accuracy. So what I mean is, if that's the size of our very oddly shaped roller, let's try and do that a little bit better, and we want a ring that size, or a radius that size, the only thing you can do is do an incremental bend. What do I mean by that? Let's have a go. I've never tried this, so this is a first off. But what I'm going to do is I'll stick that to the end there, and I'll bend it just a little bit. And there you have it, a larger diameter bend from a smaller diameter roller. I probably could have done better if I'd have sort of spent more time on it and moved it exactly the same each time, and put my stop in and bent it exactly the same each time. I could have made a better job. And so maybe if you made a lot of notes, you would be able to do a repeat bend. To be honest, you can also do the same with the sharp angle bender, because all you're doing is doing increments. If you looked at the bend done with the sharp angle bender, what you'd see is lots of tiny little folds. Maybe of no interest, but I used to work in the waste equipment industry. So we made refuse trucks, garbage trucks, if you like. In the back of your average garbage truck is a big steel plate that's probably thus wide and about thus deep, and that's where all your rubbish goes. That's what we call the hopper floor. And it used to be the case many, many years ago that those used to be rolled. If you look at the sides of the body on a refuse truck, they're usually shaped in a curve. And again, it used to be the case that they used to be rolled. What they do with the sides now is they make a former up, and they get a flat bit of metal and bend it down and then weld it in place. But on the hopper floors, because it's much easier, what they actually do is they divide it into sections, and they make a tiny little fold at each section. So if you look at the steel plate head on, what you see is loads of ripples in it, because they're all the fold points. So it's almost like if you've got a bit of paper and put a lot of folds in it, and it turns into an approximation of the cylinder. If you put the folds close enough together, they become almost invisible. If you had only 3 folds, you'd get that. but if you do enough folds. So again, with this, you can do an approximation of a larger diameter ring, but it's not what it's designed for. If you want to make a lot of large diameter rings, then what you want is a roller. And what your roller has is actually 3 rollers. And this roller is adjustable up and down. So you put your flat bit of metal through the middle and you power that roller down until it just presses on the metal, and you roll it through. And it puts a very tiny bend on it. And then you press it down a bit further and you run it through again. And it puts a bit more. Press it further, run it again, bit more, bit more, bit more, until eventually you get the actual diameter that you want. And what you can do with that is you can actually form an entire ring, or even if you twist the metal about a bit, you can form like a continuous, like a spiral, almost like a spring. But it is a different piece of kit. You can get vertical ones and flat ones. You can make them yourself. There are DIY videos of how to make one on YouTube. And I'm certain you can buy one. I've never tried because, again, it's not something I want. But again, the answer to the actual question on the metals parts bender, can you bend a scroll? Can you bend a ring? Well, sort of. So, if you are thinking of buying one of these to make scrolls or make rings, then I'd suggest you might need a bit more equipment as well. Possibly, if you wanted to do hanging basket brackets by the million, then good luck competing with Temu and whatever. But if that's what you want to do, then you would need one of these and the scroll bending attachment. Some of the companies, I think, sell them the same time. Clarke, who I got this from, don't sell it, but you can see them on eBay. If you want to bend large diameter rings, so I don't know, maybe you want to make the tops of buckets or strips to go around barrels or whatever, then you're going to need a roller ring bender. Hope that helps. Any more questions, feel free to chuck them below and I will try and answer them, or head on over to oldmanwith.com and press the ask a question button and I will, as I say, do what I can to answer them. In the meantime, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.